with you, Grunt, because they led at 10-6 at halftime, win at 13-9, which means Tom Brady is now 105-1 at home when leading at halftime. He gets another win. He wasn't happy last week after they won. You think he'll be a little bit happier today?
I'm not really sure. To tell you the truth, they didn't really move the ball, but they did what they needed to do. And sometimes that's all you need to do to win games. The defense, once again, stout. They didn't let the Cowboys offense do anything. And then the special teams, I believe, once again steps up and makes the play to set up the only touchdown. The Patriots offense did what they needed to do, and that's all you need to do in a game like that. And every single time they control the ball, they let the defense do what they need to do, the special teams come through. That's how you win games. The Patriots, Tom Brady, come out on top once again, finding different ways to win this game.
Yeah, he's not happy. I mean, I'll just talk about you coming back, and they can use you big time. Jacoby Myers stepped up. N'Keal Harry stepped up with the big touchdown. The defense stepped up, of course. Sony Michel. I mean, this is a team, though, that if they get home field advantage in that environment, up there with their fans in that weather, they every year, Kurt, you said earlier in the show, they're the number one seed. I'm going, they might as well put that on repeat from the last 10 years. I mean, it just is what it is.
And the offense will evolve.
Yes, but they find a way to win. Matthew Slater, Jackie Slater's son, perennial All-Pro, as a special teams player, steps up and gets it done again for those guys.
We can talk about the offense struggling right now, but Howie, this team's relying on its defense. I mean, only 9 points given up to a Cowboy team that came in the number 1 ranked offense in the league.
Yeah, and the Gilmore-Cooper matchup was huge. I mean, he basically shut you. People talk about who's the best cornerback in football, and, do they travel with the best wide receiver? Gilmore answered that question, I think, today resoundingly. Shuts Cooper down, I think, in their 10 wins.
He disappears on the road all year long, Howie.
No, you can say that. That's part of that's their offense part. But for them to hold in their 10 wins their opponents to 80 points is pretty special. Yeah. Pretty special. We were talking about the schedule was soft early. This was the number 1 offense today. They came in and they held them to what? 9 points.
Right. Hey, Gronk, Devin pointed out something you mentioned at halftime. Yeah. They practice in this type of weather in New England.
Yes, all the time. You practice in any type of weather in New England.
So no surprise.
No surprise at all.
Phil doesn't say it's wet out.
You really want to know what he says?
He can't say that. Exactly. We got to stop it right now.
I don't care if it's raining, snowing, if there's a hurricane. You're going out there and you're practicing.
And while there's snow draped out, he'll take the water bottle and he'll pour it on the football too. And he'll make Tom throw the football in like 20 degrees while it's all wet too. That's how dedicated he is to the weather.
Wow. Obviously, doing the right thing.
You know what, Russell Wilson right now, look at him, obviously undefeated on the road this year. There's a lot of talk about the MVP of the season being Lamar Jackson, which probably right now he'd get my vote. But this guy, the way he's playing, you got to put him in that conversation. When you watch him, guys, I mean, have you ever seen a quarterback he's got so much command of the ball with his legs, with his arm. He's always so poised. I just love watching Russell Wilson. This is the reason right now that they got me excited going forward. They're going to hit the playoffs running, and they're all because of Russell Wilson.
Howie and I were talking, and we were saying as we were watching the games, that if you could build a franchise right now with the players we're seeing, quarterbacks we're talking about, who would you take? Obviously, you would look at Brady and Rodgers, and this guy's name kept coming up because you just know Gronk. You just know when you're playing with him, you got a chance to win.
In some ways, he's overlooked, though.
Yeah,
really.
It's amazing. They're 9-2 right now. They're pushing for the number 1 seed. The way this thing plays out the rest of the season, no one has more than 9 wins right now.
They've got San Francisco coming to them.
So don't write them off yet as far as home field advantage. It could be interesting. All right, Jake Laser, what's going on around the league?
Oh, my God. Hey, you guys talked about us going to New York this week for a Thanksgiving game. Guess what else is happening this coming week? The Browns and the Steelers, they're running it back. They're playing it again just 2 weeks after that debacle a couple weeks ago, which obviously we saw Myles Garrett hit Mason Rudolph over the head with a football helmet. Now, Mason Rudolph was pulled today for Devlin Hodges. Mike Tomlin's still waiting to make a decision, but the league is afraid it's going to get ugly. They're afraid of revenge. Already, one of the defensive linemen, Sheldon Richardson from the Browns, saying, we hope Mason Rudolph's in there. So I'm being told the NFL is going to get on the phone with both owners as early as tomorrow, hoping to talk to head coaches as well, making sure this game isn't a revenge game and doesn't get out of hand.
All right, let's wrap up Week 12 here with who won the day, starting with you, TB.
All right, Drew Brees led the Saints on 11-play, 65-yard drive, kicked the field goal to win, 34-31. Game was tied as they beat Atlanta.
I'll go with Matthew Slater. Set up the only touchdown of the game through special teams with a blocked punt.
At 347 pounds, Vita Vea becomes the heaviest player to ever catch a touchdown pass.
Oh,
Wins
boy.
my day.
I'm going to give it to Frank Gore. He third place all-time rushing yards, only behind Emmitt Smith and the great Walter Payton. Great job. Congratulations to Frank Gore.
I'm going to go with all the great performances today. Nothing beats Gronkowski's halftime analysis of the weather and how to deal with it.
If there's a little rain in Dallas, a little snow in Dallas, Jerry Jones comes down and says, oh, do you guys want to practice in the bubble today? Well, that's why it's Advantage Patriots, and that's why they're kicking butt today.
Hey, I think we all won the day by getting to hear Gronk all day from start to finish.
I think we have a roof because I would be the only one in here if it was rainy. I'd be still on here like.
Whenever you speak, I'm ready to put a uniform on and get back out there, man. You get me fired up.
I got 1 week. We'll both be going back out.
Great job today, Gronk. We appreciate you spending the whole day with us. All right, that'll do it for us. We will catch you again Thanksgiving Day from New York. We are halfway on the road to the Super Bowl 54 in Miami, which comes your way right here in 70 days, only on Fox.
Fox Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football. For NFL news and highlights, go to NFL.com.